Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Michaela and I'm here with you today to do my newest pattern. It's going to be called Gina pattern. So I've got here my requirements. I've got here my my underwire. I will be using a B cup underwire, and this is a quite a short type underwire. I don't have any to show you a difference by, but I will be showing you the measurements for this underwire. So it's 14 centimeters roughly on 9 centimeters roughly. This is for a B cup, yes. So I've got my underwires, I've got my underwire channel. Here's my pattern already cut, and as well I've cut the straps. It will be a ruffled underwire top. It's so cute, so beautiful. I'm going to show you how you can do it with a normal sew machine. You don't need an industrial sew machine. If you would have this this kind of foot, it's a ruffler foot for your normal sew machine. It's so easy to buy it. You can buy it from Amazon. It's really a lifesaver. If you don't have, then you'll be ruffling by hand, but I definitely recommend you to buy it. It costs really nothing. I think I bought mine for like €5 or so. And of course you need your sew machine. I've got here my both rotary cutters and my discs, which I'm using to cut the fabrics. I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to show you the pieces which I have for this top. So these are my linings, just like that. This is lining, this is the main fabric, and this is another lining. All right, I'm going to put them next to each other so you have a better view. Okay, so I've got here, oops, sorry. I've got here my, let me see if I sorted them correctly. I think I'm this way and this way. Okay, so it's going to be an underwire which will be connected by these two parts in the middle. Yes, and the same will be connected by two parts in the middle. And here I've got my side band, one on each side. I'll be using the same fabric for the lining, for my band, for the lining, and for the main fabric. And this will be my bridge. I've cut it on fold, and I will explain you what I'm going to do next. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to connect these two pieces together. So I'm going to place them on top of each other, and I'm going to do, I think I've put them wrong. I'm going to place them on top of each other, and I'm going to do, no, I didn't. Sorry. I'm going to do a straight stitch, and afterwards I'm going to do, so if you've seen some of my videos, you will know that first I prefer to do a basting stitch, and then I prefer to do a zigzag stitch, or I serge it. Since I have a serger, I highly recommend you to use the serger. If you don't have a serger, it's not a problem. You can do a zigzag stitch. You do not need to add elastic for this part, so you should repeat this step on all the sides everywhere, and you should have connected then I would be calling it the main cup. Yes. So first I will unify this center seam on everything, on my both sides, just like that. Yeah. The same for the lining. I will be doing the same. I think I've mixed the lining up. And for my bridge, what I'm going to do, I'm going to place it like that, right side together, and I'm going to as well do a serger or a serge it or zigzag stitch. And as a difference of what I've been working already on, I've been always doing a lot of invisible stitching. This time I'm going to show you how I'm going to actually place the elastic on the inside and then fold it over and zigzag stitch. Just for a change, yes, because sometimes not using the invisible stitch is a little bit useful when you don't want the fabric to be rolling or moving around. So as I'm going to do bottoms as well for this, I prefer to do this technique, and this way I'm going to show you like a new technique of how to create swimwear. So anyways, an underwire bikini top can never be reversible because of the underwire channel, which will go through inside. So yeah, there is absolutely no reason why not to do the other technique, which I'm going to show you just now today. So yeah, as you see on my side pieces, side bands, I've pinned. I'm going to do first a basting stitch, and then I'm going to add elastic on the inside, on the lining side of my fabric. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do these parts. I'm not going to show you, but I'm going to show you one basting stitch and what I mean by it. And then once I've done the connecting, I'm going to show you the next parts. Okay, so I've done already some basting stitching, some bast stitching on almost all my pieces, but I decided to show you how I'm doing on just one more piece I have here left. So I practically, as you can see, I have my length stitch on 4, and it's just a basting stitch over, and I'm actually so happy that I decided to do basting stitch because my fabric is very slippery. I didn't, for this example, I didn't really check the grain line, but I always recommend it as it's an important thing. But since it's a pilot, I don't have much expectations. So sorry, I did it so fast, I forgot to explain you. I did a basting stitch, and then I did a little snips through. Why? To allow stretch to my fabric. So now I'm going ahead to my serger, and I'm going to do practically the same thing. I'm going to stitch over all these parts which I already did. I'm not going to add elastic to my front pieces. That's one. That's 2. As you can see, having bust stitched all these pieces, it actually makes my life so much easier. I can go so much faster and have no problems. Next, I'm going to add the elastic to my side bands. Like I said, I'm going to do this on the, let's call it wrong side. Let's call it lycra lining side. So I always get it mixed up. I'm like so sorry. I'm inserting the elastic through, just like this, and I'll be slightly pulling, but like very, very extremely gently, like it's almost non-visual that I'm pulling it. And I will stop a little earlier because I would be adding the bra clasp, so the elastic, it's no need. You see the slightly pulling, it made a little crease in my fabric, which later it will be so useful when I will do a zigzag stitch over, so it will not like overstretch my fabric. The same, cutting the elastic a little earlier, and that's one side. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side with you. So I'm just gonna check which side I have to add the elastic. So I'll have to add the elastic on this side. So all right, we'll be adding the elastic here underneath. Okay, got here my other side, and last but not least, I'm going to do my bridge already also. So this is as well done. Great. Okay, so now I'm going ahead, and what I will be doing next, I'm going to do this with you. I'm going to fold this over inside like that, and I'm going to do a zigzag stitch over my side bands, right? Going to do the zigzag stitch on all the parts. Once I've done my zigzag stitch, I'm going to secure these two fabrics together with a straight stitch, and I will explain you later why. And here is my construction for my, let's call it one main cup and then another cup. You see there is a slight difference between the sides. So this is the center, the inside, and this is the outside. So if you find it very difficult to remember, you can always take like a little pin and just pin it. You see, for example, here I'm struggling to identify, but it's always easy when you have them fold. You see clearly this is the smaller piece, all right, and this should be my smaller piece here, right? So I need this smaller piece. Well, sorry, actually before, because I don't want my seam to be visible and to move around, I'm going to do a top stitch over, right? Since I have a cover stitch, I prefer to use the cover stitch. If you don't have a cover stitch, you should go ahead and just do a zigzag stitch over. You should be doing this over all your parts, and once you've done it, we will secure these two parts together. So I'm going ahead with you. This is my smaller piece. I don't need this one. I need this one. It's my smaller piece. Together with my smaller piece. I'm going to go ahead with you. I hope my cat didn't chew my thread. Yes, he did. So yeah, one of my cats has a habit of chewing my threads, and it's literally so annoying because I always try to chase him away and push him not to. Not this cat. It's another cat. right, so I'm gonna try to first secure again my threads together. So sorry for this delay. I made a knot here. This here I didn't need to. I knew he's a tricky one. So I'm going to my two threads got together now. Nice. Going to have to separate them here. Yeah, so owning a cover stitch is quite tricky because if the threads get mixed up or tangled, then the job becomes a little more difficult, let's call it like that. So yeah, you will be spending a lot of time into threading. At least I do. Sorry, I'm going to stop the video until I thread it correctly, because otherwise I might rush and I might do it too quick, but I'm going to turn it on again once I'm finished. Okay, so I'm back. I've threaded my sew machine, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to, like I said, cover stitch this seam, which I've been showing you. I'm going to cover stitch it just like this, like you see. And the first stitches I go always very slow, and then I can relax a little bit and go a little faster. Sorry, I've been just checking my threads because, yes, my cat likes to chew the threads. I'm always like, there will be a surprise. So yeah, I'm going to do just 2 bits with you. So I'm going to explain you afterwards what I'm going to do. What are the next steps? All right, so I'm going to put this, actually I'm going to turn it off afterwards. So as you can see, I did a little cover stitch over my seam, because I don't want it to be moving and to be bulky inside over there. And now I'm going to place it. I'm going to place it inside like that. Not right sides facing together, if not this time let's say wrong sides of the fabric placed together, facing together. And I'm going to pin, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a straight stitch all over. I'm just going to explain you. So I pin, and I will be doing straight stitch here, straight stitch here, just secure my fabric so they're not jiggling around. And for this, I actually wanted to show you how I'm zigzag stitching. I just have a setup like on 3, 3, and the first zigzag stitch, and I just place it underneath here like that. And I do literally 2 stitches back and forth, and I pull with this finger. I kind of like stretch my fabric like this. I would want it a little bit closer to the edge. Okay, so this is my zigzag stitch. It's like so easy, everybody can do it. It goes completely over. I will be repeating on this side and on this side. And meanwhile, I also want to do the bridge with you, yes, whilst we are here chit-chatting. So in order the bridge not to overstretch when worn, what I'm doing, I'm adding, usually I'm adding a little bit of my underwire channel inside, and I'll be doing a straight stitch here, and I will be adding both up and down. In case your sewing machine does not allow for you to sew over thicker parts of the fabric, then I recommend you to use this kind of band. It's just like a non-stretch, because you don't want your you don't want your bridge to overstretch. But since I'm always so used to add my underwire, I will be continuing doing this, and my sewing machine does not have a problem with it. So I just do a straight stitch over, as you see. All right. I'll be repeating it, the same step on the other side. I'm actually checking whether the seam inside was on which side. Was on this side, and I think yes. So I repeat the same step, making sure my needle is up. All right. So my bridge is already prepared. I'm going to trim these extra parts. Okay, perfect. So yes, next I will be doing the straight stitches over what I've shown you. I'm going to do the zigzag stitch over these parts, and I'm going to show you afterwards what are the next steps. Okay, so I've done my both sides of my side bands. Actually, one I've cover stitched it, and I did already the little straight stitch. I'm going to show you, I'm going to straight stitch this bit as well. So just like this. You should not get worried if they don't match exactly. There is plenty of seam allowance, and it will not affect the fit. Of course, if it's a little bit, if it's a centimeter, then it's more concerning, right? So I've did a straight stitch already to my pieces. I did straight stitching to my both main cups, yes. And now first what I'm going to do, I'm going to add elastic on this bit. Yes, I'm going to add elastic like I did before. Since I've already did the basting stitch, adding elastic is going to be quite fast. So I'm going to repeat the step which I showed you before. Gonna slightly pull. Not so much. And the same, I'm cutting just a little bit before, so to not be too much bulkier fabric around. The same, I'm adding elastic on the other side. the elastic is added on my upper side. Clearly, since on the lower side it will be added the underwire channel. All right, that's another step which we've did together. Now I'm going to, so like I said, try to remember which is your lining side, the center. So this would be my right cup, right? And this would be my left cup, yeah? I want my fabric to be on my right side of the fabric, on my lining, lycra side. And I want to add this. I'm going to do a straight stitch over, but have please in mind that you will do the over stitch in the end, so leave a little space. I will just be leaving this, yeah. You will understand later why, because I don't want to add the ruffles just yet. So I'm going to add it just here. Straight stitch. Perfect. And I'm going to do the same thing for my bridge. I'm going to choose, since the seam is a little visible, I'm going to choose this as my lycra side, my good side. So I'm going to add it right here after I did my folding like this. So you see I'm kind of like calculated. If you need to pin it, this is a good moment to pin it so you know where about. Then you do a straight stitch over. Okay, now it's time to add the underwire channel. Remember, you will be doing all these steps in mirror on the other side, on the other cup, yeah? So I take, you see there is a softer side to the underwire channel and there is a more rough side. So I take the softer side and I'm going to place it. I like to have my needle prepared. I'm going to place it on the edge. So I'm going to sew on the left side and I will be sewing over these stitches before. So I did a few back and forth. What is important that you sew as much as you can on the edge of your underwire channeling. I try not to come too close so you can see clearly what I'm doing. You will need not to sew too much center. You should stay as close as you can to the edge because you need to slide the underwire through. So I'm going to stitch it just, sorry, a little thread. I recommend you to always trim the little threads because otherwise it's a little nightmare. So I'll be stitching it just until here. All right, and here I stop. I'm cutting my underwire channel and everything else. Yeah, okay, so remember this is my lycra side, yeah, and this is my lining. This is my lycra, this is the side which I would like to be shown. So now once I've done this, I'm going to turn it on the lining side. And first I'm going to check if there are any any parts which should be trimmed, which would be bothering me when I'm sewing, or if would be too bulky to sew over them. So this is what I'm going to do first. If they don't bother, I practically don't trim. Here I'm having a small doubt, but I don't think so. And yes, very important, trim the little threads. Okay, so now I'm going to actually, no, it doesn't matter. It's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tricky because it's a little bulky here. Yeah, doesn't matter. And now I have the lining side, and I'm going to go over creating a parallel stitch. As you can see on the other edge. So again, I'll be sewing like would be on my left side. And this time I'm making sure that I don't have too much fabric underneath here. So I'm slightly pulling it. Secret is going slow. I always say the same. And of course, repetition. Good secret as well. Okay. So I've created my underwire channel. And I'm not going to introduce yet the underwire. I'm going to repeat this on the other cup. So like I said, first I'm going to turn it back on my lycra side, yes. And look how beautiful the parallel stitch was, like so beautiful. Additionally, you can do another parallel stitch here on the outside, but I don't mind, to be honest. It looks as beautiful, so for me it's really nice. So I turned it on the right side, and I'm going to do this here the same. I will take in account the folding, and like I did before, I'm going to pin, and for this part I'm going to pin another bit like this, so I'm not going away from where I should be. So I'm going to do this, and the same, I'm going to add my bridge. Just do a little pin over here as well. All right, so you see I did everything. I will be doing everything in mirror, but I will be adding this and this in the same way, and then I will be adding the underwire channel the same, but this time I will be starting from the bridge, and the same, I will be sewing it on the left side as close as I can to the edge, and then I turn it, and then I will be doing the parallel stitch.